Christmas tree! Christmas decorations! Christmas snow! Christmas peanut brittle! Yes, the holidays have come around once again, and I'm always super excited when this time of the year comes around. And not just because my birthday happens to be the same month, but it's time for the fun Christmas traditions with the family. Decorating the tree, watching the Good Grinch movie. But despite the immense amount of candy that goes through our kitchen, gingerbread really isn't one of them. Not that I'm a huge fan of gingerbread, but it's kind of the cookie of the season. So how can I celebrate that while still keeping my subscribers happy? How does the worst game on the Wii sound? Data Design Interactive is a name infamous in Wii circles for being one of those early developers that just pumped out games to the tune of over 30 games in like 2 years. And every single one of them was garbage. Things like Action Girls Racing, Hamster Heroes, and Rig Racer, remember that one? They were so hated that there was an actual petition form to have Nintendo revoke their license status. And no game better exemplified the quality of what they were putting out than Ninja Breadman. Oddly enough, Ninja Breadman started out life as a 3D reboot to the platformer Zool, one of those forgotten casualties from the mascot craze of the early 90s. I've never played any Zool game, and the footage I've seen just makes it look like another generic 16-bit platformer. Anyway, because we've apparently always wanted dead platformer stars to return, Data Design was contracted to develop a return for the Ninja until it was cancelled because the work in progress was trash. But Data Design didn't want to waste all that hard work. They reskinned it and released it as Ninja Breadman on the PS2 and PC in 2005. But most people are primarily familiar with the Wii port from 2007, probably because it was the only version released outside of Europe. I think this game holds the record for the fastest a game has irritated me before the game itself even starts. Do you see it? I didn't crop this. This isn't an aspect ratio issue. This game actually only runs in 4:3. I know this was likely a limitation from the PS2, but when it was ported to PC and Wii, couldn't they have put in that tiny extra bit of work getting it to display in widescreen? Oh, and the cheapness doesn't end there. Just look at those beautiful menus. Looks like an educational Flash game. Sorry, was that too niche a comparison? Well, it doesn't look like we've got much in the menu to do. Let's just get started with the tutorial stage. Alright, move with the analog stick, go through the open door. Things are all standard so far. Oh no. Mapping something as critical as jumping in a platformer to motion controls by a developer I don't trust to do motion controls. That's a potentially game-breaking issue. It absolutely would be if you couldn't also jump with the Z button, which of course the game never tells you. So, I guess following in the footsteps of its big brother Zool, this game is an obscenely basic platformer. Run, jump, double jump, collect things, and kill enemies. Do you trust this game to do combat without fucking it up to the highest degree? And if you do, you're an idiot. Ninja Breadman has two forms of attack, his sword and his shurikens. At least, I think they're shurikens. I'll just tell you now, do not use the sword. It's hard enough to get it to work right at all thanks to motion controls, and even when you can swing it, lousy hit detection means it probably won't connect with your delicious foes. But the ranged attacks suck too, right? They're really hard to aim and they do very little damage. Well, that's the thing. There is a learning curve that's worth getting the hang of. Mostly because you'll have to if you want to see past the first level. Yes, the aiming is finicky. I think some of it was sunlight interfering with my sensor bar, but it is just something you have to get used to. At least the cursor will lock onto targets. The damage output is kinda weird, but it is something you'll have to make use of. Or more accurately, abuse. It takes around 10 shurikens to kill most enemies at the start, but you can do it from a distance to keep yourself safe, and there's only one enemy that can shoot at you. Each kill fills a bar on this meter, which represents how powerful the shurikens are. When it's filled, it's a one-hit kill to everything. It'll drop if you get hit, but now that you can kill everything from a safe distance, that's not going to happen often. This is really the only feasible way to fight. So now you know how to traverse the levels, the question is, what do those levels entail? Well, it's kinda weird. There's no one way to describe them. Not because of variety, but, well, I'll get into that. The first non-tutorial level places you in an open environment with various rooms jumbled together in connections, and you need to traverse all of them to find these energy rods to activate a teleporter to end the stage. Okay, so this is a collectathon. A really lazy one, where the only thing is to collect the things you need to finish. That's the impression most would have, because for whatever reason the videos I've seen of this game never get past this first stage. I don't know why, it's not hard, but that's the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. But stage 2 is a linear platformer. You still have to collect the 8 rods, but they're all placed along a straight path or on a short offshoot. So, is it a collectathon? This feels more like an 8 red coins mission rather than a banjo stage. Not that the first level was anything to be impressed or even satisfied by, but it was at least closer to that genre. Now I'm just confused. Did they suddenly get cold feet on the idea one level in, or did they finish that one level and decide it would be too difficult to make more like that? Level 3 follows level 2's design, by the way. So you beat level 3 and that's it. Back to the main menu. That's actually the whole game. No extra levels, no bosses, no ending, not that there was a story to begin with. Even the credits have to be accessed from the menu. Now, I doubt this was a full-priced release back in 2007, probably around a $30 budget title, so how much content does that buy you? 30 minutes. Actually, half an hour. Well, I suppose in all fairness, this is like my 4th time playing the game. I know how to play it, but even that first run was less than an hour. Ooh, I bet those kids who got this as a Christmas present when they clearly asked for Mario Galaxy were so pleased dear mom and dad made their own creative decision. Okay, that's not actually all the content in the game, but it might as well be. Finishing a level unlocks a series of challenges in the exact same map, just with different stipulations. Time trial needs no explanation, beat the level under a time limit. No thanks. Hidden Pickups tries to make the game feel more like a collectathon by tasking the player with locating 20 candy canes in the stage. So basically the same thing as the main stage, but more in number with items much harder to spot and without the arrows to guide you. Even in the contained level 1 I used to test it, I somehow couldn't find the last candy cane no matter how hard I searched. But goddammit, this is ostensibly supposed to be a collectathon. We need more pointless collectibles. More! Well, friend, that's where score pickups come in. See, it's exactly the same as hidden pickups, but with 25 times the items. Oh, ain't it beautiful. We've done it, ladies and gentlemen. We've officially found a collectathon more tedious than Donkey Kong 64. No, but seriously, that's actually unbelievable, and I hate that it exists. No surprise I gave up on that one immediately. Because, really, would you even want to go through those levels again? Every one of them looks the same, they're all built from the same assets, they all feature the same 4 enemies, they don't look enticing or delicious, which should be the easiest thing to do in a world made of sweets. Sadly, the music is the best part of the presentation. It's not good in any sense, but it's inoffensive, I guess. Everything else just feels lazy. Especially the level design. It's all constructed like, put a platform here, put a platform there, put a series of platforms here, and I'm tired, I'm going on lunch. I think they took Bubsy's quips just a bit too far.
Now, what would a platform game be without platforms?
You might be wondering, do I consider this an irredeemable game or a victim of lost potential? Well, neither. I don't consider it horrible per se, it's functional, it controls acceptably, you could do worse. But there's also nothing about it that makes me think it ever stood a chance. There was no way it was coming out of development as anything better than bad. Even at the incredibly low price I paid for it, just don't bother. You'll get nothing from it. Whether Data Design agreed and thought they had unfinished business, or the game did well enough to warrant it, a sequel was announced in early 2008. Thankfully, fate intervened and Data Design shut down, destroying any chance of its release. But if you somehow needed more Ninja Breadman, you're still in luck. Anubis 2, Rock and Roll Legends, Mythmakers, which somehow spawned its own sub-series, and I swear that's Hat Kid. I'm not crazy, you see it too. All 3 of these games are built off the exact same framework. They all play exactly the same and have the same level structures, but different designs. Well, that's how you get more levels. Buy 3 more games. Well, there's no sense in getting upset in a bad game over the holidays. This is a time for merriment. So, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Good Kwanzaa, Festivus, Decemberween, Heartswarming Eve, Life. You know what? Fuck it. Fuck this time of the year. See you in 2018, everyone.